Well, howdy there, folks, and welcome into today's video. Hope you guys are doing great out there as always. The stock market has gone completely insane. I want to show you guys exactly what is going on in the stock market right now. How crazy this is getting. I'm going to show you a bunch of stocks that I feel like are representing some really good deals out there now, okay? I think the argument where people were making recently, let's put it that way, over the past few months, that there were no good deals in the market, I think that has long gone, okay? I do think there's still a lot of stocks in the stock market that are a ripoff and are just not a good deal. We'll get into that in this video as well. But I definitely see a lot of stocks that are representing some actual good value now and are considerably down from their 52-week highs. And a lot of these stocks are, I don't know, maybe I'll call it a slam dunk, okay? So I hope you guys enjoy this video as always. All I ask in return is that you smash that like button. And that is literally it. That helps out a huge YouTube algorithm. If you want to subscribe. If you don't, but you gotta smash a like, okay? Alrighty, guys, let's get into this. So first off here, starting out looking at the Russell 2000, down again today, man. Down again. You know, this is the one market that actually represents, dare I say, pretty good deals, okay? And we're going to see that in just a moment here. And yet this is a market that continues to just sell off here, okay? We're now down just about 200 points from the 52-week high, okay? And yeah, you're going to see in just a moment the valuations on the smaller stocks. So think about anything under $50 billion. A lot of those stocks are starting to represent some really good value now. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Under $50 billion market cap. Starting to get really interesting as far as the valuations go. And under $10 billion market cap, that's where we're really starting to see a lot of good deals in the stock market right now, okay? So Russell just continues to fall. Now, let's start out here, okay? Looking at large caps, all right? Look at my little summertime, okay? I got a coconut drink and some watermelon, living life good over here on Loom, okay? So large caps, 21.5 forward P. This is out of Yarndini Research. Shout out to Yarndini. I appreciate you guys for always putting these awesome charts together, okay? You know, if you come to me with an argument right now that says, like, you know, big tech stocks looking overvalued or just not good deals, let's not even call it overvalued. Let's just say not good deals. I'm in agreement with you, okay? Big stocks do not represent great deals. I'm 100% in your boat. Like, we see eye to eye, you and me. Yeah, okay? I agree 100%. Big dog stocks are not great values right now, okay? You might find some okay values, but I can promise you none of those stocks are like, oh my gosh, this is the best deal ever. This is an easy 2x here. No, okay? They're just not good deals. You look at how much valuations have gotten pushed up on large caps, and you see it, right? 21.5. And you look back to any time in recent history, past 15 years, you know, we've never been trading up here on the big dogs, okay? So there's no doubt at all that big dogs are either extremely overvalued or just not good deals, okay? The best case scenario for a lot of the big stocks right now is they're just not good deals, okay? So, yeah, I see eye to eye. If people want to say there's not good deals in the stock market, I'm going to say, okay, you're talking about large caps, right? You're talking about the big dog stocks, right? Because if they say that, okay, I understand. If they say there are no good deals in the stock market in general, then I just know they're not educated properly and they don't really know where the deals are at, okay? But in terms of the big stocks, we see eye to eye. No dang doubt about that, okay? And this is forward P, so keep in mind, this is looking over the next 12 months. It's not like we're talking about the last 12 months where you can say, well, numbers were messed up because of Rona, blah, blah, blah. We can make that whole argument. Nah, this is looking over the next 4 quarters, okay? So right off the bat here, large caps, we know, not good deals, okay? But where there's a difference of opinion is mid caps interesting, okay? S&P 400 mid caps, interesting values. I don't call them necessarily the greatest deal ever, right? I mean, if we're talking about like a line somewhere down here, then we're talking about, oh my gosh, okay? Load the boat, everything in sight. Give me margin, give me options, give me everything, okay? So, but at the end of the day, we're nowhere near where the large caps were at, which large caps were just, you know, off the charts, right? So mid caps, we understand there's value. Small caps, guys, look at where small caps are at, okay? There's many times in the last 15 years where we can see different time periods where we were significantly above wherever we're at now, okay? And keep in mind, a lot of these time periods, inflation was a lot lower, interest rates were a lot lower, and things like that, right? I mean, look at some of these, peaks much, much above where we're at right now, okay? And keep in mind, we should see extremely strong earnings growth in a ton of these small caps, not just this year, but next year as well, okay? So this is something very, very important to keep in mind. And this was as of yesterday. Keep in mind the Russell's down another, 0.8% or so today. Who knows where it will end? Maybe it's down 0.5%, maybe it's down 1%, right? But needless to say, this number is going to likely be even lower after you take in today's losses for the Russell again in a lot of these small stocks, okay? And so we're looking at valuations now in the smaller stocks that are just, to be quite frank, either a lot of these stocks now are representing either a situation where it's like, it's a decent value, or it's undervalued, or it's super undervalued. That's the type of stocks you're seeing in small caps now. It's a decent value, undervalued, or super undervalued, depending upon where you're finding the stock, okay? So we have a huge divergence now between small caps and large caps. Small caps, extremely interesting. Large caps, yes, you have me. If you want to say those are ripoffs, fair play, okay? But you can't go ahead and say small caps are a ripoff. That's just not factual at all right now, okay? So this is where a lot of the opportunities are. And so if I'm thinking about researching stocks, yeah, that's where I'm going to find it. And what we're going to find here, I'm going to show you a bunch of stocks that I think are very, very darn interesting values, right? And what you're going to find is almost all of these stocks are either mid caps or small caps. And most of these are small caps. And that's where the real opportunity is. The real opportunity is not in the large caps anymore. There's going to be a rotation of money, in my opinion, from a lot of the large caps to small caps. And by the way, when a rotation of money happens, that does not mean all those stocks crash, okay? It does not mean Microsoft goes down 50% or Apple goes down 50% or anything like that, okay? For those, it can just be a sell-off of 5 or 10%. But keep in mind, those stocks are so huge. When we're talking about the $1 trillion boys club, right? The $1 trillion plus market caps, when there's that big rotation, those stocks, if they just sell off 5, 10% and money moves into these stocks go crazy, okay? Because these are, you can push these around pretty darn easy when you're coming out of $1 trillion companies, right? And so this is something we can see play out over the next 6, if not 12 months. Doesn't happen all in a day or a week. It happens just over time, okay? And we don't know when it starts, but, this is what usually happens, and then the rotation happens, okay? Now, let's talk about some individual stocks. Wynn Resorts, this has gotten insane, okay? This is getting insane on Wynn. This stock is now basically right at its midpoint of its 52-week range, okay? So right in between its 52-week low and 52-week high. This stock is one of the most interesting stocks in the entire stock market, in my personal opinion, trading at about a $12 billion market cap, roughly somewhere in there right now, okay? I mean, you're talking about a stock that has, the two premier properties on the Las Vegas Strip. And as somebody that lives in Las Vegas and, keeps track of traffic, I can't ever say I've ever seen it busier than what it's been like down there the past couple months. Let's just put it that way. And I'm talking in terms of table games, the appetite for gaming, those sorts of things. Wynn's going to probably put up not just Wynn, but the Las Vegas Strip in general is probably going to put up record month after record month, okay? And when I say record month, I'm talking about in the history of Las Vegas in terms of gaming revenues, okay? Room rates have been intense from my understanding. The clubs are back packed again, and everything is just looking pretty much better than ever. And then you tag on to this convention business coming back in 22. Come on, you got to be flipping my flapjacks, man. Give me a break. Win at 105 with this stock continue to sell off and then being in a great capital position. You have the Boston property, okay? The Boston property, that's a property that's obviously already starting to benefit, and we'll see the numbers over the next couple quarters. It's already starting to benefit from the fact that people just want to get out and do stuff again, okay? That's like a huge factor, right? But not just that. Imagine when Boston tourism comes back in a major, major way. When you think about these guys, I mean, that's just a tremendous opportunity. Let's talk about Macau, okay? Macau has had a ton of restrictions on it, and this has hurt all the Macau operators, right? Including Wynn Resorts. It's hurt them, no doubt. But how long do you think those restrictions are going to stay on, okay? And if you pay attention to what's actually going on and you're in the Macau publications and things like that, right? GGR Asia, some of the other websites out of Macau, you're going to find that they're already removing a lot of those restrictions, and more will come over the next 6 to 9 months, in my opinion, okay? Macau's try to play it super safe, but in my opinion, there might be a step back here and there, but they'll continue to take 2 steps forward, in my opinion. Maybe they take a step back, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're seeing some cases rise, but then they're going to take 2 steps forward, okay? And Macau has nothing but upside in front of it over the next year or two over there, okay? And obviously, Wynn has 2 of the best properties on the old part of Cotai, right? And then they have the premier property on the Cotai Strip, which is Wynn Palace. That is the creme de la creme. There's nothing above that property that is the best. And you know how much VIP action is waiting to come back to Wynn out of China and out of Asia in general? As soon as more and more of these restrictions are lifted, look for Wynn Palace to put up some of the most ridiculous numbers you've ever seen, okay? And this is all coming for this company. And yet Wall Street wants to sell off this stock. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, I thought Wynn stock pumped up too fast, too soon. I did when it was moving up. And now I'm looking at this and I'm like, this is the wrong time for this stock to be selling off, in my opinion. If anything, this should be the time that this stock starts to build bigger and bigger and bigger. No, it wasn't just Wynn down today. A lot of the travel-related stocks, Vegas stocks, all those type of stocks were down today. You know why? Well, you see stuff like this that's come out in the past 24 hours. LA County to require mask indoors, okay? Now, Wall Street wants to freak out over this, okay? All of a sudden now we're talking about masks indoors again. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Are we all going to have to go back into lockdown again? And everybody's going to have to wear masks everywhere and socially distance. And, it just seemed like the world was getting back to normal, okay? And now all of a sudden you see this and people are like, oh my gosh, is this about to happen again around the United States or around the country in general, okay? So first off, this week was the first week after July 4th, right? And so, everybody got together July 4th, July 5th, okay? So, I would imagine, just as it happened last year, the numbers would have climbed substantially. So, why does this take anybody by surprise? Of course, this week we were going to see a huge ramp up in, the Rona numbers. Guess what happens on July 4th and July 5th, right? The 2 days that, everybody was celebrating, right? Everybody gets together, family, friends, big, events, things like that, right? Of course, the numbers were gonna climb. Should this take anybody by surprise? No, okay? But Wall Street wants to start getting concerned about this. And so you see all the travel stocks sell off. Now, my thought about this is going to essentially put things in a situation where it's going to definitely give more and more incentive for folks that don't have the shot to go out and get the shot, essentially, right? Because we got to understand, there's still well over 100 million people just in the United States of America that have not gotten their shots yet, right? And so a lot of folks have kind of seen the numbers go down. They're like, do I really need to go get a shot? Well, if all of a sudden you're talking about, hey, all of a sudden we got to start wearing masks indoors, a lot of folks go ahead and start considering, okay, maybe I'll go get this shot so we can, get out of this crap that we're in right now, okay? And so that's a huge incentive that all of a sudden gets put out there, right? And also, keep in mind, this could give a bigger emphasis to booster shots, right? Which is going to benefit certain companies. Keep that in mind, okay? And folks are just going to take this much more serious if they see numbers climbing, okay? And so if you think about this, right? Wall Street all of a sudden is concerned about the travel stocks. Sell everything that's in sight as far as travel stocks. So what stocks should be doing amazing in this type of environment then? Well, how about a Walgreens Boots Alliance, WBA? But this is how dysfunctional Wall Street is and how much things don't make sense in the stock market right now. This stock should be up huge because guess who's one of the biggest givers of these shots out there literally in the United States of America? Walgreens Boots Alliance. So if all of a sudden 100 million plus people have to consider, man, maybe I should go get that shot, guess who's going to benefit huge from that? And then if booster shots are taken as a very serious thing, guess who benefits from that? And guess who's going to see in-store traffic basically climb and climb and climb? Walgreens Boots Alliance. And guess who's going to end up seeing more relevancy than ever before? And we already seen them come out and say numbers are going to be way better than they expected. Imagine if now all of a sudden all this is getting put out there again, and now everybody's like, yeah, maybe I'll go get my shot. I've been kind of lazy on it, but now I'll go ahead and get it, right? And we're talking about a stock at a 9.4 P. Why can't Wall Street see this right now? Wall Street's blind most of the time. That's what you got to understand. Wall Street most of the time is blind. It's money following money around, and they don't make any sense. If you want to sell off travel stocks and you're scared about Rona, Walgreens is the play in that situation, okay? And they're not the only play. Think about a Pfizer, PFE, okay? Great solid dividend company. Yeah, guess who gives the most shots? Pfizer. They make the most, okay? These are all things to factor in. Guess who else would benefit? If you're at all worried about us ever going into a lockdown situation, which I would say is a very low probability now, but if you're at all scared about that, guess who benefits in an immense way from that? Oh, it would probably be Corsair Gaming, but no, let's sell Corsair Gaming off 2% today. Makes no sense. This stock's a disgusting value. We're talking a forward P of 15 on Corsair Gaming, a stock that is, benefits from people being at home as much as anybody, right? Gaming industry, streaming industry. This is a stock that's going to benefit regardless, because at the end of the day, do people that love gaming and streaming just because the world's opened back up say, no, I don't care about that? No, of course. Corsair's, core customers are going to continue to be their core customers at the end of the day. And they're going to continue to thrive, but they're going to especially thrive if there's any type of worry about, we could shut down again, or we could have to spend more time at home, or maybe not as many people want to go out because all of a sudden they have to wear masks or something like that, right? If you're at all worried about that, then this stock should be moving today up in a big way. But Wall Street makes no sense right now. Absolutely no sense. It says, yeah, let's sell off the stocks that are going to give Roni shots. Let's sell that are already at discussing value. Let's sell off the stocks that are in the gaming sector that's going to benefit more than any other, right? If people are at home for any reason, right? And let's sell off travel stocks, and let's just sell off everything, right? That's a smaller cap company. Doesn't make any darn sense right now, okay? If you look at the cruise operators, I have no money invested in any of these at the moment, but I can tell you, these stocks are starting to get to really darn interesting values. And I'm actually strongly starting to consider potentially, if these stocks continue to go down, I might buy it. I felt a lot of these stocks ran way too much, way too fast. And that's why you didn't see me get in any of these, right? Carnival, I felt like that stock ran way too fast, right? At the lows, I think it hit $7 or $8, right? And that's when it was like, there was a real possibility Carnival could go under and could literally go bankrupt, right? It was, I would call it at least a 50-50 at one point for Carnival, whether they were going to go bankrupt or not. I'm talking the stock go to zero, because they were in just, when they had to all of a sudden close down their business overnight, the cash burn was insane. It got ugly really, really fast, right? Then the stock pumped up way too much, way too fast. If I recall, Carnival hit $30-something a share. I'm actually going to check on that right now. I just went ahead and checked on Carnival. The high for this stock, a few months ago was $31.52 a few months ago. That was way too big of a move, way too fast, okay? But now we're in a situation where I think these cruise operators are about to thrive in 2022 and moving forward, right? A lot of them have just started opening up a lot of ships in different lines and whatnot, right? Just very, very recently. This is just starting to play out. But in 2022, the growth numbers from these companies is going to be immense. In my opinion, there's not just my opinion, but what I'm seeing in the real world, because I live in one of the most popular tourist places in the world, and I get to see firsthand. I have almost an unfair advantage against most people because they don't live in the type of tourist place I live, which is Las Vegas, Nevada, right? There's a ridiculous pent-up demand for travel. People to go places, get back to normal, life back to normal, go spend time with friends and family and leisure activities. Huge pent-up demand for this. And so these cruise operators are going to benefit in a massive way, right? And so I'm looking at a lot of these, and they're starting to look like a snack, okay? I'll be completely honest. And if these stocks continue to fall, I believe I would pick up a Carnival Cruise Line. And the only difference is this time I'll actually make money in the stock, unlike the first time when I lost money in this dang stock, okay? Norwegian Cruise Lines are starting to look pretty darn appetizing, right? The stock I know the best out of all these in terms of the one I spent the most study on by far is Carnival Cruise Lines. But I could play any of these three. Royal Caribbean, I like Royal Caribbean a lot too. That's probably my second favorite, RCL, right? And so these stocks, I just would not have expected them to sell off this hard when we're talking about we're a mere, 6 months away from these stocks starting to bounce hard in terms of the actual business underlying. Business underlying's already gotten a lot better for a lot of these companies, but in my opinion, over the next 6 months, you're going to start to see some crazy numbers from a lot of these cruise operators. And in 22, you could see some of these the best numbers ever for a lot of these companies. And then it's not going to slow down, in my opinion. 23 is going to be a crazy year for a lot of these operators. I'm looking at something like a CCL. If all of a sudden this continues to fall, guys, and next thing you know, it's at $19, $18, something like that, dare I say $17, and we fast forward time until September and those 2024 calls come out, oh my goodness, okay? That's all I'll say about that. Woo-wee! Yes, okay? The chef bucked the trend today. Look at the chef. Yeah, it was up. You guys know I love the chef. I was looking for a deal, but yeah, I mean, I still feel like it's a deal. Let's be completely honest between us, but it moved up today, okay? Interesting stock here, the Planet, okay? Now, this stock recently has been flirting with going back down to the $5 range, okay? It hit a 52-week high of 867. I gotta say, guys, if this one falls back to the fives, I actually might start buying the Planet again. Now, I own so many dang Planet shares, it's ridiculous. They should name a store after me for how many Planet shares I own, okay? But I haven't considered actually buying this stock for a while. But if this if this weakness continues in a lot of these stocks, and this all of a sudden pushes a 575, 550, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, no one's going to go to Vegas now, things are closing up again. If there's any sort of worries like that, I would likely buy back more shares in Planet. And like I said, I've just been holding my shares and haven't been making any moves in the Planet for months now. But if this maybe it's 575, 550, I can't just sit on my hands and be like, I don't want any more Planet shares, because at the end of the day, this is a $1 billion something market cap, and I think it has a great probability of going to $5 to $10 billion over the next 5-10 years. And so when I see that sort of upside, and I see the stock continue to sell off, and I think about the risk reward in this one and the great capital position, they've had like 9 figures of cash. Orange County's doing crazy numbers, from my understanding. We've seen in the private stock group, I have a category where essentially if people want to go to the Planet, they can post pictures of what it looks like in there as far as business goes and things like that. My understanding has been very darn busy, and I'm going to try to visit that store personally myself probably within the next couple weeks. Let's put it that way. And so I'm keeping a very, very close eye on that one. Now, in the market in general, here's what I'm doing right now, okay? I am deploying money out there, but I'm not going all in at once. You don't see me, just plowing money in the market like 100K here, 200K here. One, I'm funding 2 startups right now, so keep that in mind. But the other thing is, I don't know how long this weakness can continue for, so what I'm trying to do is disciplined buys. You'll see me buy call options. You'll see me buy $3,000 of stock here, $2,000 of stock here, $5,000 of stock here. Doing very, very disciplined buys. I'm not just going all in one day, taking advantage of the deals, but I don't know how long the weakness can continue, so I want to make sure I always am in a capital position. I always got some money on the sideline. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you didn't already smash that like button, I would appreciate it in a huge way. I hope you guys appreciate me taking the time out of my day to film this video for you. Much love as always. If you want to join our free Facebook group or our value email list, check out links in the description down there. Might also have as a pinned comment. Thank you for watching and have a great day.